Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Loyola Academy Virtual College Fair. We are excited that you're here. We have a great group of colleges, universities, presenters lined up for you this evening who are excited to tell you all about their universities and colleges and hopefully get you excited about the future and everything that brings. So a few housekeeping announcements from me before we get started. First, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay though. If not, feel free to just drop us a message using the Q&A button and we will be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that is your best way to engage with our presenters this evening. So as you have questions throughout the session, feel free to drop those in Q&A. You can do that before the college presents, while they are presenting, or afterwards as well. We will be monitoring those questions throughout the entire session and are happy to answer those as those come in. Don't forget, this is just one of many sessions being offered, so be sure to check the StriveScan website for additional sessions you might be interested in the future. And then this session, along with all the others, are being recorded and will be available at that StriveScan website where you signed up within about a week. So before I turn it over to our presenters, I want to show you our schedule for this evening. So we are session C3 at the top right corner of the screen. So we will go to DePauw University first, Cornell College, Lawrence University, Macalester College, Colorado College, and Denison University. And so with that, I'm going to kick it over to DePauw University to get us started.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm going to take a moment to share my screen and share a little presentation. Hopefully you guys can all see that, but my name is Julia Michaels and I'm an admissions counselor from DePauw University. If you've never heard of us before, DePauw is a small private liberal arts institution located in Greencastle, Indiana, which is just about 45 minutes west of Indianapolis and about a 3.5, 4 hour drive from where you guys are located up at Loyola Academy. Our school comprises of the College of Liberal Arts and the School of Music. So you can see the majority of our students are in the College of Liberal Arts, but we also have the 6th oldest school of music in the nation. So if you're interested in pursuing music as a major, you can definitely do that at DePauw. Other things about us and kind of the demographics of our campus, we're just shy of 2,000 students, which are coming from 39 different states and 39 different countries. More than 30% of our students engage in college athletics at the Division III level. So if you're interested in pursuing college athletics and you want competitive varsity athletics, you can definitely do that at DePauw as well. Some more things for you guys. I mentioned that we're a university, so we have the 2 different schools. The majority of our students are in the College of Liberal Arts, which offers 49 different majors and 56 different minors. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, don't hit the panic button. You actually have the ability to create your own major at DePauw through our interdisciplinary degree program. So if your interests lie across many different areas, that's okay. You can create your own major. Additionally, we offer programs in pre-health services, pre-engineering, and pre-law if you're interested in graduate school, medical school, law school upon your 4 years of undergrad. Additionally, our students don't have to declare their major till the end of their sophomore year. So we actually encourage a lot of our students to come in undecided and undeclared so that you can become a very well-rounded student. Additionally, you can see we have 4 music degree programs. So while our students in the School of Music pursue a different curriculum, they also find themselves taking classes in the College of Liberal Arts as well, which is really nice to have a cohesive community on our campus. I also love to mention that we're a liberal arts institution. So I always like to kind of show, what you'll be up to when you're on campus. We have 8 different centers for our students to engage in their different interests, whether it ranges from management to technology, to ethics, to diversity and inclusion on campus. So lots of areas for students to also engage outside of the classroom with their academic, professional, and social interests as well. One other thing I love to talk about is the hands-on experience of a DePauw education. Our co-curricular and extracurricular experiences for students really allow all of our students to engage in exciting opportunities ranging from undergraduate research to study abroad to internships. Our students find themselves being heavily involved in their 4 years. So we really try to expand our academic calendar by implementing what we call a winter term and a May term. It's a 1 month kind of period of time where you take one class or You go on one study abroad opportunity or do research for 3 weeks on campus. And it's a really great opportunity to take something that maybe you don't have time to take in your normal semester as a DePauw student, which is great. I also love to mention we're a solely undergraduate institution. So about 50% of our students complete faculty student research during their 4 years at DePauw. We also have a nationally ranked study abroad program, which ranks number 4th in the nation for the number of participants we send abroad. And additionally, we rank 7th in the nation for making those opportunities affordable. Finally, 90% of our students complete at least one internship by the time they graduate. So again, we want you to have that real world experience. So again, you become the most well-rounded individual you can be. Really quick for any of you guys that are possibly freshmen, sophomores, especially juniors, quick things to note about us. Few ways in the upcoming months to start applying, especially if you're a junior. DePauw is a test optional institution and we will continue to remain that way. So that's really exciting for you guys that are kind of starting off your college search process. We have a holistic review. So we really are able to allow students to really tell us about themselves. We get to know you the best we can. And additionally, we want to get to know you as an applicant. Finally, we have some deadlines for next year. Don't worry, you don't have to write these down. They're on our website. You still have plenty of time, but I just always love to throw those out there. It's never too early to start planning. Additionally, our financial aid packets, we offer merit scholarship that you're automatically reviewed for if you apply to DePauw. And again, it's free and easy to apply to DePauw, so there's no application fee. About 80% of our students receive some form of merit scholarship upon admission to DePauw. We additionally accept outside organizational scholarships, and we have our own specific full tuition DePauw awards as well. So if you ever have any questions about financial aid, I can definitely help with that. I'll wrap things up really quickly by just sharing my contact information. So if you guys ever have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those for you. And after this, I'll turn it over.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia. Okay, next up, we are going to Cornell College.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as well. My name is Megan Kuhn, and I am a admission representative and associate director of admission and a 2015 alum of Cornell College. We are a small, private, liberal arts college located in Mount Vernon, Iowa. We were founded in 1853, and we're about a 4-hour drive from anywhere in the Chicagoland area. When I say small, we have a little over 1,000 students on our campus, but they are coming from 47 states and 13 countries. So on our small hilltop campus, we managed to have a pretty solid kind of global and national presence. The main thing that folks know about Cornell, or what attracts our students to us, is our one course at a time academic calendar. Cornell is one of just 2 colleges in the entire nation that operates on this kind of block plan, where our students take 1 class for 3.5 weeks. Then you get a 4.5-day break, and then you go on to your next class. So this page that I'm showing you currently is actually our current academic calendar for this year. During a typical year at Cornell, we will offer 8 classes like you would find at a traditional semester institution, but because of the hardships encountered because of the pandemic, we've added 2 additional flex blocks for the next 3 years to make sure that our students can still graduate with our 4-year graduation guarantee. As you're looking at this calendar, you can see students are in class Monday through Friday. Of course, you get your weekends. You know, we're not monsters. We don't expect you to study all the time. And classes typically take place from 9 to 11, and then again from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Because we're in class for about 4 hours a day, that's why we don't rely a lot on lecture-based learning. You know, not a lot of folks enjoy being lectured at for 4 hours, so we rely a lot more on the experiential side of things. Being able to operate on a block schedule allows our students to really focus in and have a deep dive into the subject that they're studying for that block, covering an entire semester's worth of work in just that 3.5-week period. You're also able to form really close connections to your professors and your classmates, as our average class size is 16 and they're capped at 25. to tell you a little bit about kind of what that first year experience looks like on our campus is our classes happen where they make sense. So that's the nature of the block plan. If you are in a lab class, say biology or chemistry, you're able to spend long, uninterrupted stretches of time in the lab. And especially because we're an undergraduate only institution, you're never having to fight pesky graduate students for the best lab space, the best resources, those kinds of things which you might encounter on a larger college campus. We also have a wide range of study abroad options, as you can see from this slide. I will give extra points out there for anyone who can identify the picture of me as a student from studying abroad. As you can imagine, our scuba diving trips that go to the Bahamas are very, very popular, but we also have a wide range of experiences students can take advantage of, whether that's gender and politics in Tokyo, women and business in Delhi. We can study Spanish in Argentina. Theater classes can devote full blocks to performance. It's a pretty wide range of options that the block plan allows us to pursue whenever we are studying in this particular kind of way. We also operate on a very, very specific Ingenuity core curriculum. This is the basis for experiential learning on Cornell's campus. I'm not going to get too far into the weeds on this because there's a lot of information you can also find on our website, but the core of our Ingenuity curriculum is building foundations for lifelong learning. By the time you graduate at Cornell, you will have a documented portfolio that you can turn over to potential employers, to graduate schools, to show the wealth of experiences that you have had while studying at Cornell and on the block plan. We also don't expect students to come in and immediately know how to function on this kind of wild academic calendar. So we have this whole team of first year success folks, this team, to help you with that transition to college. Your first class at Cornell is a first year seminar that is an introduction to learning on the block plan. You'll also have your academic advisor, your first year success instructor, and your upper class student mentors to make sure that the block plan is functioning in the most positive way that it can for you. Here is an overview of just some of our beautiful campus, which I won't get too far into every single building description because of course we have a lot, but to tell you a little bit about the application process to Cornell, we are also a test optional institution. We have been for 5 years and will continue to be so indefinitely. We have no application fee and all students are automatically considered for our merit-based scholarships when you apply. Those range from $20,000 to $34,000 a year for all 4 years. We're also welcoming visitors on our campus with some limited kind of structure in place. Of course, we have a mask mandate, social distancing is enforced, but we would be happy to see you on campus, hopefully sometime soon. I want to thank you all again for tuning in this evening, and then I will go ahead and turn things over to, I believe, Keegan at Lawrence.
Thanks, Megan. I will go ahead and share my screen as well. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ramblers. My name is Keegan White, Associate Director of Admissions at Lawrence University. And Lawrence is also a small college. We are 1,500 students located 3 hours north of Illinois in beautiful Appleton, Wisconsin, which is the 5th largest city in the state of Wisconsin. You'll find an airport and a bus station that'll get you to Chicago in about 4 hours, and a bustling downtown with coffee shops, restaurants, a farmer's market, museums, riverside trails, and a performing arts center that hosts some of the biggest touring Broadway shows each year. So we've had Hamilton recently, Wicked, and Dear Evan Hansen. So we're located in a beautiful, bustling city right along a river. Lawrence is unique in that we're both a nationally ranked college of liberal arts and sciences and a highly selective conservatory of music. Both are undergraduate only, and our students pursue either a Bachelor of Arts degree in our college, a Bachelor of Music degree in our conservatory, or both through a 5-year double degree program. Students at Lawrence are challenged and nurtured through personalized experiences in our small classes with a ton of faculty connections, thanks in part to our 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which is one of the smallest in the country. We have a student body that's inherently curious, welcoming, engaged, and passionate about what they do. Faculty are equally engaged, not only with their own scholarship, but especially in their teaching. At Lawrence, we are small in number, but rich in people and resources, all deeply invested in the success of our students. The academic program at Lawrence is bookended by two quintessential scholarly experiences: first-year studies and senior experience. So first-year studies is an expansive introduction to the liberal arts, which ensures that each student and faculty member is exposed to a diversity of subjects and perspectives and has the opportunity to learn, to communicate, and expand their horizons. And then senior experience is the curriculum, or the culmination rather, of a Lawrence education unique to each student, yet universal to students across the university. Every graduating senior produces something significant. It could be an independent or collaborative research project, art exhibition, scholarly paper, or a senior recital. The point is that you're sharing your gifts, generating new knowledge, and preparing for your next step in life. This academic journey through the liberal arts teaches our students to be adaptable and to thrive in difficult circumstances, something we all could have used a bit more of this past year. So it doesn't just prepare you for a career, but rather helps you thrive professionally, personally, and as a contributing member of your community. So it's no coincidence that our recent graduates enjoy a 98% success rate and placement rate, specifically 6 months after graduation. Like each of the 6 colleges represented tonight, Lawrence is a residential community with nearly 100% of our students living on campus all 4 years. And they live large. They're engaged in activities outside of the classroom with endless energy, enthusiasm, and panache. Here at Lawrence, we have all the amenities of a big school in a big city right outside our residence hall doors. From NCAA Division III athletics, world-class music ensembles and theater productions, to 150 student organizations and events both large and small. Suffice it to say, if you have a passion that you want to pursue in college, you're going to find an outlet here at Lawrence. In addition to our residential campus in Appleton, we have 2 satellite campuses. The first one is this one, Bjorklanden. It's a lodge on a mile of Lake Michigan shoreline in Door County, Wisconsin, that students use as a weekend retreat center. If you've not been to Door County, it is truly a beautiful and serene setting, and Bjorkland especially holds a very special place in the heart of all of our Laurentians. And then our last campus is our London Center in central London, England, which is the most popular of our 50 study abroad programs. So if you're looking for a global experience, you're going to find Lawrence's student body and faculty to be diverse, with nearly every race and state represented, 25% of whom are first-generation college students, and 15% hailing from 50 foreign countries on every continent. The Lawrence curriculum, community, and campuses are sure to broaden your horizons. Here's a quick look at the average profile of our incoming Laurentians. Lawrence has, like some of my colleagues tonight, a holistic review process. We don't require standardized test scores. We haven't since 2006. We will never again. So for any student that wants to apply with or without a test score, we have options that provide a holistic admission review and scholarship consideration to both. And so for some Lawrence applicants, an optional interview is a great way to help me discover your true fit and ability to succeed here at Lawrence. Lawrence is a generous financial aid policy, with nearly 100% of our students receiving merit scholarships between $18,000 and $31,000 for 4 years, and over half receiving additional need-based grants. We meet the financial need of over 90% of our admitted students and have raised the funds to meet the full demonstrated need of every Laurentian within the next few years. Don't forget about me. I'm here to support you. I really try to be student-centered, and I put you at the center of what I do every day. So hopefully we'll see you on a tour soon. And with that, I will pass it to my colleague at Macalester College. College. Jace?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jace Riggin. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns. Very excited to be with you virtually this evening. I am an admission officer at Macalester College, and I work with students from the state of Illinois. Macalester is a small liberal arts college. I know you're hearing a theme this evening. We're located in the heart of the Twin Cities, a metropolitan area of about 3.5 million people. Macalester is a proud mission-driven institution grounded in our values of academic excellence, multiculturalism, internationalism, as well as service to society. We're not afraid to say who we are, and in fact, our mission and our ethos are the primary reason why many of our students choose to apply and ultimately enroll at Mac. It is because of our location that Macalester is one of very few liberal arts colleges in the country that's located in an urban metropolitan center. Our campus is about 4 miles from downtown St. Paul and 7 miles from downtown Minneapolis, where I live. Although our student body is small at about 2,200 students, our students have access to over 200 different internship sites within just 8 miles of our campus. There's an international airport just under 10 miles away. It's a 20-minute light rail ride. And we have an array of Fortune 500 companies, think Target as well as 3M. Those are two I'm sure you're familiar with. You'll notice on this slide a few of Minnesota's famous musicians. You'll notice Prince, Bob Dylan, as well as Lizzo. They all have roots in Minnesota. Lizzo got her start on the St. Paul side of the river and then later debuted at First Avenue, a downtown venue that our students love and that was frequently performed at by Prince. We also, I'd like to mention, have a killer punk scene in the Twin Cities, and our music venues and festivals are fantastic. Things are a little bit different here. Internationalism and global citizenship are not new values to Macalester. And in fact, these long-standing, enduring commitments to our mission trace all the way back to the 1950s, where our President Turk, who was a World War II veteran, raised the UN flag on our central flagpole where it has flown since 1950. Thinking about our campus community, currently about 15% of our student body are international students. There are 98 different countries of citizenship represented on our campus. Our student body collectively speaks 75 different languages. In the past few incoming classes, roughly 35% of our US students have identified as Black, Indigenous, or as people of color. In our incoming class, the class of 2024, that number was 41%. Additionally, 16% of Macalester students are the first ever in their families to attend college. And I'd like to note that our LGBTQ+ community is vibrant. The Twin Cities is a fantastic place for internships, career exploration, and I'd like to say to call home. We're home to the state capitol, numerous nonprofit organizations, and other grassroots advocacy groups. Internships, civic engagement, and off-campus work are available to our students during the academic year, but we also have various paid opportunities for our students in the summer as well. About 60% of all of our students within STEM complete some type of independent or collaborative research. And 40% of all majors at Macalester major in a STEM-related field. I'd like to point your eye to 80%, all of our students, 80% of them do complete some type of research experience during their time at Mac. It's not just limited to those science students. We are a Mayo Innovation Scholars Program member, which means our students also have the ability to network with students from other Minnesota private and public colleges and universities working on projects at the Mayo Clinic located in Rochester, Minnesota. We are a liberal arts and sciences college. We have 39 different majors, as well as 40 minors and 10 concentrations. Don't worry, you won't have to navigate this alone. You'll have an academic advisor from day one at Macalester who you choose with a corresponding first-year course. This is a course that you and the first-year advisor have a passion and an interest in common for usually. They guide you through your first interdisciplinary research and writing project and introduce you to the various different centers and resources that you have available to you at Macalester. It's really easy to be involved at Mac with over 100 different student clubs and organizations. Everyone can be involved in theater and dance, as well as the fine arts without regard to their major or minor. I'd also like to note that Macalester is an NCAA Division III institution, and we provide various opportunities for our students to be involved in athletics in addition to their academics. Mac offers 4 different application deadlines I'd like to draw your attention to. The first of the deadlines is early decision, and there are 2 rounds of early decision. This is the 110% kind of thing. It is a binding application process. It's for students who know that Macalester is their #1 choice. If you go to our admissions website, you can take a peek and see the admission rates over the last 3 to 4 years, as well as this year's admission rates. This may be particularly curious to you if you're interested in our early action round, which was new this year. This is an early, non-binding application round that allows students to apply early to Macalester without committing. Lastly, I'd just like to point out that we do have a regular decision round. This is non-binding, and we are a common application college. There is no application fee at Macalester. We are test optional, and we meet 100% of demonstrated need for our students. Before I give you my contact information, I'd like to draw your eye to return on education. 94% of our students are employed in graduate school or in a service-based program within 6 months of graduating from Macalester. Please put your questions into the Q&A and reach out with any questions that you do have that don't get answered. Really happy to connect with you after this time. I'd love to pass the mic to Denison. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, everybody. First of all, to the students from Loyola Academy, thank you so much for sticking with us and attending all 3 sessions. We're excited to talk with you and spend time. So let me share my screen here with you. Okay. So one thing that I really like to do is, especially in this setting, is to kind of pick out some things that I think make Denison special and unique, especially when you're hearing from similar institutions. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about location, our innovative academic programs, our student body, and then I'll just leave you with some kind of academic admission information. So Denison is located in Granville, Ohio. We do sit up on a hill. So I say it feels a little bit secluded when you're on campus. We're located in Granville. Our students love taking full advantage of, it is the definition of the college town, really great restaurants, shops, fairs, festivals. We have an amazing farmers market, a walking path. It's about 25 miles where our students bike and walk. We have a bioreserve. But vice versa, you're going to see a lot of community members on campus as well. So there'll be sporting events, concerts, theater productions. It's a really, really great relationship between Denison students and Granville community members. One of my things that I always say is I feel like when you're driving to small private liberal arts colleges, oftentimes you feel like you drive an hour into the middle of nowhere. You feel totally off the grid. You pass a Speedway, a McDonald's, and you look over at mom or dad or whoever's taking you and you ask, where the heck am I? Denison is not like that in any way. So we are about 30 minutes from downtown Columbus, Ohio. I always say hit or miss with some traffic, but our students take full advantage of it. So Columbus is the 14th largest city in the US. It is headquartered or home to about, gosh, a dozen plus headquartered companies, a good number of startups as well. And our students are really taking advantage of it professionally through internships. We do research projects, networking opportunities. It's just a lot of fun to have that city life in your backyard and quite frankly, what you guys are used to. I always say it's great to have those professional experiences, but when you go to college, you're there to live and you want to have fun. You want to enjoy those 4 years and look back on it that you took full advantage of everything. So Columbus is also a lot of fun personally. We have a hockey team, baseball team. There's a lot of really cool markets of neighborhoods to visit. We have the International Market downtown. I'm a foodie. Fantastic restaurants, just a lot of really great shops and things to explore. Part of that as well is I always say we are located on the east side of Columbus and closest to the airport. So we are about 25 minutes if you drive like me to the airport from campus. Also right there is Easton Town Center. It is an amazing indoor-outdoor mall. It has every restaurant, shop, comedy club, things that you could think of or possibly want is right there at Easton. We do provide shuttles to downtown. We provide shuttles to Easton, to the airport. We also have a town called Newark right down the road. That's going to have everything you guys could possibly want. It's going to have Target, Chipotle, Starbucks, things that you guys are also still used to. So truly, Denison is located where it's the best of both worlds. You get the Midwest nice, the small town, actual feeling of a college town, but big city living experiences professionally just down the street. So location is my first favorite thing. My second favorite thing about Denison is the innovative academic programs. Oftentimes when I'm talking to students about liberal arts colleges and what does that mean, especially when they're just starting their search, oftentimes they assume that we offer arts courses. We really focus on English, the humanities, the social sciences. And although we do offer all of those, I wouldn't say that is just what we offer by any means. Our professors, faculty, staff, our board of trustees have done a fantastic job of really looking at what is the job market like today. The jobs that students are getting out of graduation are not the same as they were 10, 15, 20 years ago. And so we continue to update and upgrade all of our academic programs. Some examples of my favorite academic programs: data analytics, global commerce, neuroscience, global health. We have earth and environmental studies, a lot of different areas. One of the great things too is it's really unusual to meet a student who comes to Denison and says, I'm a bio major. Oftentimes you kind of wait in silence. More often than not, you're going to find students that say, I am a psychology and an art major because I really want to go into art therapy. They find different ways to kind of take from different programs on campus, really interdisciplinary approach to get to what it is they want to do post-graduation. So again, the innovative academic programs, I think, are one of the things that Denison does really, really well. My third favorite thing about Denison is the student body. So we are a really diverse student body, especially for a small private liberal arts college in the Midwest. We come from 50 states, 56 countries. We are 20% domestic students of color and then 20% international students. So although, again, you get that Midwest nice, when you're sitting in a classroom on Denison's campus, you don't feel like you're in the Midwest and you don't feel like you're located in Central Ohio. So that is probably one of my absolute favorite things about Denison, especially because you'll hear students say, I'm afraid to go to a school where everybody looks like me, thinks like me, talks like me, and has similar experiences as me. Or on the opposite end of the spectrum, you're going to have students who say, I'm afraid to go to a school because I don't know anybody who's going to look like me or have similar experiences to me. I think Denison does a fantastic job of saying the world is so connected and so small now with social media and technology, and it is just a global experience when you're on Denison's campus. It's really preparing our students for the real world post-graduation. And then finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our application information. So we have 3 application cycles. We have 2 early decision rounds. ED1 is November 15th. ED2, which stands for early decision, is January 15th. And our regular decision round is also January 15th. We are test optional, and all of our students are considered for merit scholarships, and we do meet 100% of demonstrated need. I'll drop my contact information in the chat, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thanks, Blaine. Okay, that is the end of our formal presentations, but we have a few extra minutes here in our session, so we're going to do some rapid fire Q&A. If all of our presenters want to turn their video back on, join us on screen. Students, if you have questions for our colleges, now would be a great time to drop those in Q&A, and we'll be monitoring those over the next few minutes. But in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen and ask our presenters, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we will go in the same order we started in.
Perfect. I love to go first. So my biggest advice to students going through the college search process is to utilize your admissions staff at each college and university you're possibly looking at. We are here to answer questions, to help you navigate this process, whether it's in the sense of applying or financial aid. So when we all drop our contact information, we really mean it. We really mean to reach out and actually ask us questions. That's what we're here for. So my biggest piece of advice is to utilize the admissions staff at all the colleges and universities that you're looking at.
I would say my biggest piece of advice is to consider when you're thinking about fit, it can feel overwhelming and you don't know if it's a large school or a small school that would best suit you, is to think about your favorite classes that you've taken so far in high school. What about them made it your favorite? Was it a smaller class? Was it a bigger class? Was it the connection that you had with the teacher? Was it the subject matter? That can help you determine the kind of environment that would suit you best whenever you're going on your college search. So I think that would be a great place to start when you're considering fit.
Yeah, and I would also encourage you to, like as soon as you're comfortable and able, start to get around to some campuses, spend some time in different places. Maybe make sure that you're doing the process for yourself and not just not letting too many other voices sort of bounce around in your personal college search. This is your first time in your life really that you're making a choice that is truly your own, that you're going to have to own and live with and sort of carry with you the rest of your life, right? Your alma mater, the college that you chose. And it should really be that personal choice, something that's going to be the best thing for you and your future, not necessarily what others around you or your best friend or your aunt or whatever thinks you should do. You've got to make that choice for yourself. So try to put some earplugs in at some point and really think about what's really for me, not just what my community thinks is best for me.
I will cheat and do two, but my first one is long and my second one is short. Thinking about that fit piece, I think about it as sense of belonging and thinking about will you feel that you're going to be successful there. In that line, don't pretend to be someone you don't want to be or that you're not when you apply. Don't pretend to be the person you think that school wants you to be to get in. We are so thrilled to get to know you, each and every one of us on this Zoom tonight. And that's part of the application process, is picking and finding those schools that you feel a really strong connection with. So don't invent a different person for me to read about. Make sure I'm reading about you. The second one is deadlines are real. Apply a week early. Submit your application materials a week early. It gives us time to chase missing materials if something goes wrong because the internet is crazy. It just allows for all of those things to happen. So I cheated. I'm sorry, friends. I am especially sorry to Blaine.
No, you were just fine. I actually thought about adding one of the reactions with the clap because I completely agree. My piece of advice would be, you are sitting in on a presentation from 5-6 schools that are selective universities. So I always say, be a hand raiser. Let us know that you're interested in us. Shoot us an email, pick up the phone, open your emails, attend virtual events. All of those things help in what we call demonstrated interest. And I can speak for Denison in saying that we really do look at, is a student interested in attending Denison? Have they engaged with us? Have they reached out? So anytime you have the opportunity to interact with us, whether it's at your school, virtually, on campus, please do so. And we are people on the other sides of those emails. So if you like what you see, if you have any questions, raise your hand, let us know.
Awesome. Great advice, everyone. Okay, next question. What is your favorite event or tradition on your campus?
Okay, so I'll start us off. So one of my favorite events on DePauw's campus is what we call the Monon Bell game. We have a huge rivalry with an all-male school, Wabash College. That's about 35 minutes north of us. The founder of ESPN is actually a DePauw grad, so it's the only Division III televised sporting event. So we draw tons of people to our campus to watch this game every fall. We play for this 300-pound bell, painted half gold, half red. We did not have the chance to play this year, so DePauw has still been able to hold on to the bell. You can come see it on tour. It's supposed to bring you good luck if you ring it. So that's a really good time for Division III athletics to feel like you're at like a Big Ten school and have a lot of community camaraderie over our athletic teams.
Because Cornell operates on this accelerated one course at a time academic calendar, the college is really big on taking silliness seriously and having times for us to really let it out and have times to relax. So my two favorites, because they happen on the same day, is the day before finals, we have Pet Therapy Day, where community members from Mount Vernon bring all of their fuzzy and sometimes feathered or scaled friends to campus for students to have that time to just relax and hang out with the animals. And then later that night, we have late night breakfast, where the dining hall opens at 10 p.m. and it is chock full of junk food and deliciousness to have to come and relax and chat with your friends before you might hopefully go back and go to bed. But if not, let's be honest, you'll keep studying. So those are two of my most favorite kind of stress relief, fun events on campus.
All right, I will keep the silly but serious thing going. Lawrence hosts, students at Lawrence host the longest running trivia contest in the world, we think. It's called the Great Midwest Trivia Contest, and the reason we call it the longest running is because the last question of the previous year is the first question of the next year. So it's sort of like is this continuous game of trivia that happens every February on a weekend from like 10 p.m. on Friday until midnight on Sunday night. And so it's like continuous 50 hours of trivia, and you form teams and take turns getting naps and answering questions. And there are action questions. So you might be asked to, I don't know, act a bit of Shakespeare on the front steps of the president's house or something ridiculous. And so it's just like taking silly to the nth degree and making the most of Wisconsin winter. So the Great Midwest Trivia Contest, you can Google it.
My favorite event that Macalester does, I'm not an alum, and so this is selfishly a favorite event, but it's also a really great community building event, is Mac is very, very inter-involved. So staff and faculty and students are often on projects, helping to think about policy. And there's something called the First Thursday. And the first Thursday of every academic year, everyone drops what they're doing for about 3 hours, and they gather together. We couldn't do it this year, of course, but they gather together and all the bleachers get rolled out and we discuss a pressing issue of our time together. And all of the flags from all of the countries that are represented on campus are put on the stage, and our student body president sits with our current president, and an alum of the school comes back, and we chat about 2 years ago. It was cybersecurity and elections following the 2016 election. And we were trying to think about what does it look like in a democracy with the internet in 21st century America. And so it's just really fun. And then we all go out and we get a cute little lunch bag and we have lunch on the quad. And we just sit and chat with one another to get ready for the academic year. And if you're a new student, it's a great way to meet staff and professors and other students. And if you're a new staff member like I was, it's a great way to meet students and staff and professors. So.
Awesome. My favorite event is, so we have an improv comedy group. We have a really great group of alumni, especially from our arts. One of the big ones is Steve Carell. So he was a part of Burpees, which is our improv comedy group on campus. And every year we do an improv. It's basically a 24-hour show. You don't know when it's going to be ahead of time. They announce it the day of or the weekend of. And last year, Steve Carell came back for it. Jennifer Garner is an alum. She's made some appearances. So I think that is something that students look forward to because it is a huge, fun thing to do on campus. And it's always a surprise about who's going to show up. So that would be it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for sharing. Students, thank you for joining us this evening. Hopefully you learned some exciting information about these colleges and universities you're considering. So that wraps up our session for this evening. So when you close this window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind completing that, we'd really appreciate any feedback that you have. Don't forget, there are more sessions being offered through StriScan throughout the spring. So check that StriScan website, sign up for any additional sessions you might be interested in. And then you could check back in about a week for all of the session recordings from this evening as well. So thank you so much for being here and have a great evening.